The flicker of a smartphone screen. A swipe right. A simple message sent into the digital void. For thousands, it is the start of a modern romance. But for some, the algorithm of a dating app leads not to a coffee shop or a cinema, but to a calculated, harrowing trap. In the spring of 2024, the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, became the site of a discovery that would haunt the community for years to come. What began as a standard report of a missing person, a young, vibrant college student, rapidly spiraled into an investigation that would expose the dark reality of a predator hiding in plain sight. Saad Robinson was 19 years old. She was intelligent, ambitious, and looking forward to her future. Like many her age, she turned to Tinder to meet new people. On an evening in April, she agreed to meet 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson for a first date. It was supposed to be a casual encounter at a local restaurant. Instead, it was the last time her family would ever see her alive. When Saad failed to return home and stopped responding to messages, her family's concern quickly turned to terror. By the time police arrived at the scene, the trail was already cold, but the evidence was beginning to surface in the most horrific of ways. The investigation didn't start with a confession. It started with a grim discovery on a quiet, tree-lined stretch of beach along Lake Michigan. A passerby spotted something on the sand, a discovery so jarring it immediately triggered a massive law enforcement response. It was a human torso. As detectives processed the scene, they realized this was not an isolated incident. The search expanded, and within days, police were scouring the Milwaukee area. Body parts were found scattered across multiple locations, an attempt by the perpetrator to hide the crime by fragmenting the victim. Even more chilling, an arm believed to be Saad is later washed up on a beach in Waukegan, Illinois, over 50 miles away from the initial scene. The digital footprint left behind by the dating app became the detectives' most vital tool. By tracking Saada's final communications, investigators identified Maxwell Anderson as the last person to have seen her. When officers moved in to arrest Anderson, they were met with a scene that confirmed their worst suspicions. The suspect had not merely committed a murder. He had engaged in a meticulous, sickening effort to incinerate evidence. His car, a crucial piece of the puzzle, was found abandoned and set ablaze, an attempt to destroy any trace of the violent struggle that had taken place inside. The legal proceedings that followed provided a window into the cold, methodical nature of the crime. During the trial, prosecutors laid out a timeline of terror. They presented evidence that Anderson had purchased tools specifically for the purpose of dismemberment. The court heard how he had brutally taken Saada's life and spent the following hours systematically disposing of her remains in various parts of the city. The defense attempted to frame the events differently, but the weight of the physical and digital evidence was insurmountable. The jury saw a man who had planned, executed, and attempted to erase a horrific act of violence. In June 2025, the verdict came back, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, arson, and hiding a corpse. In August 2025, the sentence was handed down. Maxwell Anderson was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case of Saad Robinson serves as a devastating reminder of the vulnerabilities inherent in the digital age. It is a story that goes beyond the headlines of a Tinder date gone wrong. It is a story of a life stolen, a family shattered, and a community forced to confront the presence of an absolute predator living within their midst. While justice was ultimately served, the echoes of that April night in Milwaukee remain, a somber warning about the shadows that can sometimes hide behind a digital profile.